Program Center. I'm Nuzat Sharmeen.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Mahmoodur Rahman. Those were the headlines. We'll move on now to the... There should be no doubt that the next election would be held in a free, fair and neutral manner. About 6,000 polls at different levels were held in the country during the tenure of the present Awami League government, but present government never interfered to manipulate any election in their favor, she said. The Prime Minister said the Election Commission has been constituted through a search committee under the guidance of the President, where people belonging to all political faiths were included. So there is no scope to raise any allegation of partiality against the existing Election Commission, she said, adding that her party accepted results of all elections held under existing Election Commission. Sheikh Hasina said her government has done huge work for the welfare of the people. Even then, she said, if people don't give mandate to her party in the next election, it would not hesitate to accept their judgment. Paying her tributes to the four national leaders, the Prime Minister said the barbaric killing of the leaders inside the central jail was not merely a killing. It was aimed at destroying an ideology, erasing all symbols of the victory and thwarts the independence, she said. Sheikh Hasina blasted Ziaur Rahman and his wife Khalida Zia for patronizing the killers of Bangabandhu and four national leaders, freeing the Pakistani collaborators from jail and giving them positions in the government in different times since 1975. The Prime Minister said her party has accepted many demands of the opposition alliance, which could be met under the constitutional framework. Some matters solely depend on the Election Commission and judiciary, where the government has nothing to do. Sheikh Hasina wondered about the agitation program of the opposition alliance, saying dialogue and agitation cannot continue at the same time. Awami League is the only party in the country which knows how to give something to the people and change their lot, she said, adding that Bangladesh will prosper only if Awami League remains in power. The country will again plunge into darkness if any other party comes to power, she said. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina paid rich tributes to Father of the Nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, and four national leaders, marking the jail killing day. In memory of the leaders, the Premier placed wreaths at the portrait of Bangabandhu in front of Bangabandhu Memorial Museum at Dhanmondi 32 in Dhaka this morning. Sheikh Hasina first laid a wreath as the Prime Minister at the portrait of Bangabandhu. After placing the wreath, she stood in solemn silence there for some time as a mark of profound respect to the memories of the national leaders. Later, flanked by central leaders of the party, Sheikh Hasina placed another wreath as the President of Bangladesh Awami League at the portrait of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Cabinet ministers, advisors to the Prime Minister, Parliament members and senior Awami League leaders were present. Awami League General Secretary Obaidul Qadir talked to the journalists after Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina left Dhanmondi 32. Responding to a query, he cautioned the government will take stern actions if anyone tried to conduct subversive activities and to foil the election using the dialogue as an umbrella. Later, the leaders and workers of Awami League and its associate bodies, including Awami Jubo League, Chhatro League, Mohila Awami League, Shromik League, Krishok League, Juba Mohila League and Shechchashebok League, as well as other socio-cultural organizations, paid homage to Bangabandhu and the four national leaders by placing wreaths at the portrait of the Father of the Nation on the occasion of Jail Killing Day.
Meanwhile, on the occasion of the jail killing day, a delegation led by Awami League General Secretary Obaidul Qadir paid rich tribute to martyred national leaders by placing wreaths at the Bonani graveyard this morning. Leaders and activists of Dhaka City North and South Awami League, Krishok League, Shechchashebok League, Bangladesh Chhatro League and different socio-cultural organizations placed floral wreaths at the graveyard. Later, the Awami League General Secretary, along with other central leaders, joined a Milad Mahfil organized on the occasion at the graveyard premises. Speaker Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhary has said the brutal November 3rd killing incident stunned the whole world as it did the people of Bangladesh. She said this while paying tribute to National 4 leaders at Pirganj Shohid Minar in Rangpur today. The speaker also observed silence for some time in honor of the martyred leaders. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhary said the jail killing is a rare incident in the history of the world. Later, she offered munajat seeking eternal peace for the souls of martyred 4 national leaders. Meanwhile, the speaker attended a rally of mothers and guardians organized by Pirganj Mohila Karigori and Business College as chief guest. Speaking on the occasion, she said Bangladesh became a global role model as Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's government adopted women-friendly rules and laws and empowered women. Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhary later visited the Boroghola Jame Masjid and attended a street rally. As part of ongoing dialogue on the eve of general election, member of 14-party alliance Jatiyo Party JP, led by Anwar Hossain Monju, will join talks with Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina at Ganobhavan tomorrow. Meanwhile, on 5th November, Jatiyo Party, led by HM Ershad, will meet Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to discuss the upcoming general election.
Jashod President and Information Minister Hassanul Haq Inu has sought answers to his 5 questions to Dr. Kamal Hussain, which might clear the fog and confusion about the present situation. He said a certain quarter is conspiring to foil upcoming election through creating instability as they demand for delaying the polling date. Hassanul Haq Inu said this while addressing a public meeting of Jashod at Kumarkhali in Kushtia today. Kushtia District Jashod President Ghulam Mohsin, Jashod Central Committee Organizing Secretary Abdul Alim Shopon, Joint Secretary Rokunuzzaman Rokun and Vice President Afroza Haq Rina, among others, spoke at the meeting. Hassanul Haq Inu said there is no scope for an unelected person to be Prime Minister as per the Constitution, but somebody is misguiding the people through a wrong interpretation of 123rd clause of the Constitution. He said the Parliament election should be held in due time as there is no scope of avoiding that for any excuse. Junior School Certificate JSC and Junior Dakhil Certificate JDC examinations scheduled for tomorrow have been postponed under unavoidable circumstances. However, tomorrow's English and Arabic second paper examinations will be held on Friday morning, the 9th of this month.
And now, international news. The Trump administration is going to reinstate all U.S. sanctions on Iran removed under the 2015 nuclear deal. Washington says it will be the toughest sanctions to be reintroduced on 5th November. However, temporary waivers will be granted to 8 countries to allow them to continue importing Iranian oil. The U.S. sanctions will cover more than 700 individuals, entities, vessels and aircraft, including major banks, oil exporters and shipping companies. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo set out 12 demands that Iran must meet if sanctions are to be lifted, including ending support for militants and completely ballistic missile development. Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khomeini said that U.S. would be the ultimate loser from reimposing sanctions on Tehran. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has for the first time accused the Saudi government directly of murdering journalist Jamal Khashoggi. He blamed Saudi in an article in the Washington Post, but stressing Turkey's friendly ties with Saudi Arabia, he added that he did not believe King Salman was involved. Khashoggi was murdered at the Saudi consulate in Istanbul on 2nd October. Turkish investigators believe the journalist, who was living in exile, was strangled when he visited to collect documents for his forthcoming marriage to a Turkish citizen. His body has not been found, and an aide to President Erdogan, Yasin Aktay, has said he believes it was dissolved in acid after being cut up. Japan's cabinet has approved draft legislation to loosen the country's immigration rules. The relaxed laws would create 2 new visa categories to allow foreigners in sectors with labor shortages to enter the country. New rules could allow blue-collar workers in the construction, farming and healthcare sectors to work there. Workers in the first visa category will be allowed to work in the country for 5 years and bring their families. Workers with a higher level of skills would qualify for the second visa category and would eventually be allowed to apply for residency. The draft legislation needs to be approved by Parliament and is facing criticism from opposition parties who have expressed concern about its potential impact on wages and the crime rate.
And now some sports news. Bangladesh has clinched the Six Nations SAFF Under-15 Championship title with an all-win record, beating Pakistan by 3-2 in the penalty shootout. The final between the two teams was locked at 1-1 in the stipulated period at the ANFA complex in Nepal today. Hasib Ahmed scored for Bangladesh in the 25th minute, while Mohibullah levelled the margin for Pakistan in the 54th minute from a penalty, forcing the match towards the tiebreaker. Bangladesh goalkeeper Mehdi Hassan saved 3 Pakistan spot kicks in the tiebreaker and guided Bangladesh to their long-cherished title. President Mohammad Abdul Hamid and Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina congratulated the Bangladesh Under-15 football team for their outstanding achievement. Cricket, visiting Zimbabwe has scored 236 for 5 against Bangladesh at the end of day 1 of the first test in Sylhet. After winning the toss, Zimbabwe elected to bat first. Sean Williams scored the highest, 88, for the visiting side, while Peter Moore and Regis Chakabwa are at the crease. Taijul Islam picked up 2 wickets, while Abu Jayed, skipper Mahmudullah Riyad and Nazmul Islam Opu took 1 wicket each for Bangladesh. And now to end the news, here again are the main points. Nation humbly commemorates 4 national leaders brutally killed inside jail in 1975. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina reiterates pledge to build Father of the Nation's Shonar Bangla, riding over all impediments. Government to retaliate any plan to foil election or sabotage in guise of dialogue, warns Awami League General Secretary Obaidul Qadir. Putting 5 questions to Dr. Kamal Hussain, Information Minister demands answer to remove confusion. US reimposes sanctions on Iran waived under nuclear agreement 3 years ago. And Bangladesh win the SAFF Under-15 Football Championship, beating Pakistan 3-2 in the tiebreaker. President and Prime Minister congratulate.